What's going on, y'all? This is Q Ortiz, your local San Diego massage therapist, musician, and artist. And I wanted to come on here to talk about the idea of doing what you got to do for yourself. And this comes up because I was reflecting on different situations where I wasn't doing that. And I think I was focused on just more external things, being a part of this situation, being a part of this work situation or this, and given the energy there where it was still positive. It was still totally, yeah, all positive. But then being in a position where I wasn't stable, I wasn't able to build on top of myself. And that's more what I'm getting at. And also the idea of other people having thoughts about how you should live and not worrying about that. Not worrying about that. Just looking at your time, looking at your reality. That's more looking at your reality. So what do I have and what do I have to do to get myself from this situation to this situation, where there was a time where so I was about to move like far, potentially, and at this time I was also trying to pay off like different debt. And in that situation, someone could go, "Oh, you should do this or you should." But for me, I got into, and even, yeah, at that time, different people would say, "Oh, don't worry about debt," right? Different people, don't worry about debt. But I got into Dave Ramsey, and that's why he's in my description, because I feel like there is some importance to what he's saying. There are other views, and especially when you start to get into investing and when you look at different kinds of debt, to where with Dave Ramsey, what he promotes is no debt. He's just like no debt. But then someone like Robert Kiyosaki, he might speak about leveraging debt regarding buying properties, and because the income is through debt, like with the mortgage, the the money that comes in is not taxable because debt is not taxed. Whereas if you're following Dave Ramsey all the way, then whatever income you're getting is taxed as income tax. And those are two different thoughts. But in terms of your reality and what you need to do and what you're comfortable doing, that's what matters. It's not Dave Ramsey or Robert Kiyosaki. It's being informed, learning the reality, where do you sit within that, and how do you want to move forward? What makes sense for you? Because everyone has their thoughts about what they want to do with you. But what's really important is reflecting on your life, your reality, and seeing what you need to do. Where I know I might have used this quote before with Jim Rohn. Yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. But he said don't let your life end up being from someone else's conclusion, or make sure what you do is drawn up from your own conclusion, something like that. But he's don't be a follower, be a student. Just these ideas where you're able to Get the ideas, process them. If it makes sense, do it. But make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. That was that was the quote right there. And so true, so true. And in this situation where I was about to move, I'm trying to pay off things, and I'm making that an intention and just focus. Excuse me. I'm making that a focus to where it's my life. I'm like, I ended up living in a living room, lived in a basement, and with this in mind was about to live in some other kind of situation, and had because when you're looking for places, they require certain information. And with that, okay, well, what do I need to do with my life in order to fulfill this, in order to move this thing forward? And that's what I'm saying. It's not, somebody could have other ideas, but for you, okay, I need to do this. What do I need to do? What's my reality? And what actions do I need to take in order to move forward? That's it. So I know I have more just regarding this, because it's so vast, the idea of everybody having an idea about what you should do with your money, with your life, with your time. And it's really about you, and looking within yourself, looking at your reality. And even me saying that, right? I'm just sharing my thought about it. If it makes sense to you, then you could apply that. But this is what I think it's about, and what I've come to up to this point, it's just about looking at your life. What are the things that you need to do in order to move forward? You can take in account I could take into account other factors in my life. Of course, they all get consideration. Okay, I'm working here. The staff is like this. I can boom. So looking at the reality. Okay, because it's not just me. I've made commitments here. I'm committed here. How does this look moving forward? Oh, could I travel with this? Could I move this here? But it's looking at the reality and seeing what I need to do to move forward. And that's what I want to share with you today. Don't worry about what others have in store for your life. Just look at your reality and see what you need to do to move forward. And that's it. So if you like this video, click like. If you have any comments, drop a comment below. And if you want to continue on this journey with me, click subscribe, and we can vibe. Peace out.